love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show. Welcome back to It Is What It Is, everybody. This show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app's a cool way to make some cash by making picks on your favorite players. The app's available in more than 30 states, including Florida, New York, Texas, and California. Make sure you support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They'll match your first deposit up to $100 and also give you a special pick. Now, we're back with my man Mase. I'm Killer Cam, and special guest today, Maurice Clarett, because it's motherfucking college game day, nigga. Yeah, Mase. I'm so mad I'm in Florida. I'm at Ohio Station. Yo,
I should have worn my dog's outfit today.
I'm up early. I'm ready to go. I'm glad you got prom on, though. I'm glad you got prom on.
Coach Prom.
Yeah, Coach Prom also wanted to tell us thank you for the Thanksgiving Day special we did for him. Big shout out to everybody out there in Colorado. We appreciate the support and love y'all been showing us all year. But today is Rivalry Day, and let's get into it.
Yeah. Y'all want to start with that good old-fashioned hate game?
Well, listen, you know, y'all game is not more important than our game. So it won't be more viewed than our game. So, Maurice, let's start with the most important game of the day. Ohio State against Michigan. What are we looking at?
Well, listen to me. It's twofold. I had to come down to the surgery center, let these niggas know what time it is. You know? We come with all the smoke. We come to put niggas on stretchers today. And so I just had to make it official and let them see what's going on after we get at them. You know what I'm saying?
The surgery center. That's what I'm start putting Mase at every episode in the surgery center. I like that.
Nah, but it's gonna be a fantastic game. You know, you got a lot on the line right now, right? You have 2 versus 3, which is that's just good college football. It wouldn't matter what teams that they were, right? And then you have it's a couple contributing factors to the game. One is you have Jim Harbaugh being out, and everybody got they comments on if that will be like a factor into them having the ability to win. So that's yet to be seen. You have to do, what is his name? Sharon Moore, I think that's his name, the intern coach. So this is him, stepping in the shoes of Jim Harbaugh and him being able to say, hey, I can go ahead and get it done in the big house. But on the opposing side, you have Ryan Day and all the pressure in Columbus. And he may be on the surgery table if he don't go get a win up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they got him in town with the pressure, to get it done. But like I say, my thoughts have been this. I believe today what you'll need a great performance from Ohio State's running back. When I went back and all of the victories that we've gotten done in Michigan, the significant ones are running back rush for over 200 yards. And I just looked that back up last night, and we've had a bunch of guys, Jonathan Wells, Carlos Hyde, Beanie Wells, all these dudes over the years who got victories up there. These guys put over 200 yards. So we're going to need Trevion Henderson on offense to put up 200 yards. And Marvin Harrison Jr., everybody knows who he is, and he's on his Heisman campaign. I think with him having a stellar performance today, I think that we get it done. What's your thoughts, Mase?
I think if they don't win this, it's going to be curtains for them. I really think that. I see the coaches out, like I said before earlier this week. If they don't get it done, Killer, without the coach, without Jim Harbaugh being there, it's going to really be a problem. I think the interim coach could even keep the job if he beat Ohio State. What do you think about that? He probably can even keep the job.
Yo, what are you talking about, Mase? What are you talking? I'm trying to be stat baby, pause. I'm trying to just moderate the show. Now you say this foolishness, man. What do you mean he's going to keep the job? Hey, Jim Harbaugh is coming back regardless. He may get another job.
Yeah, he beat Ohio State. Yeah, I mean, everything's up in the air at this point, Killer. They want him out of there. They're trying, right? Is that correct, Maurice?
Yeah.
They're trying to get him out there. They don't like what he said about the NIL deals and the money and all of that. So if this guy, Sharon, get the victory, who's to say he doesn't stay in Michigan?
Oh, I will say this. So let's say the NCAA and the system would like him out of the game. So let's say that. But there's also a bunch of other teams who are rooting for him to lose. We're going to talk about that when we get into the other games. But there's a lot of people for football reasons and for professional collegiate sport reasons who want him out of the system. So I don't know. I'll say this. It's going to be a great game. But I forgot to tell you this too. Michigan is struggling with injuries, right? So J.J. McCarthy, he got banged up a few weeks ago against Penn State, but he finished the game. But yet still, he still was injured, right? Then you have two of the offensive linemen. That's a real big deal. The starting one and a backup lineman who are normally inside of the rotation, them dudes being out is a huge deal. And they had a linebacker. So you take four pieces of people who are normally healthy, you take those dudes off the field, and either you limiting their mobility or limiting the amount of reps that they get on the field, that stuff contributes to it. On the other hand, Ohio State, they feel it. They're like, yo, we're going on this playoff run. We have the wide receiver group working. The defense has been working all season, and you have the running game now working. I know when we win, people will say it's because of Harbaugh, but like just the tables have turned and things have shifted. You know how it is. Like, it doesn't matter who's the best. It matters who's playing the best at the time that you play.
Mm-hmm. That's more of a reason why if he gets it done, that Harbaugh might have to go somewhere else. He doesn't want to hear. But everything you said made me stand even taller on my decision right there.
Okay, well, I'll say this, being I'm the moderator. Harbaugh's not going anywhere, win, lose, or draw. I'll tell you another thing. Sharoni, Baloney, Mahoney, whatever homeboy named it. The Cinderella story ends today, buddy. You was crying in your first game that you won. You'll be crying that you lost tonight. It's over, my nigga. You can forget about it. Sharoni, Baloney, Mahoney. Bye, buddy. Harbaugh be back for the playoffs. That'll be that, man. So I think it'll be a great game. And I also agree with Mose that Ohio State coach has to get this done. He hasn't been getting it done the last few years. Yeah. And this will be a very, very big problem because as many games as they win, this is the one that we all want to win in Ohio as a city. Columbus,
that's all that matters.
Columbus, that is, Mase, just in case you didn't know the city.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly why I'm saying it'll mean a lot the same for Michigan, right?
Michigan been beating us. That's what we're saying the last couple of years. So this coach, it's a lot of pressure on him to win because, like I said, it's one thing staying ranked, it's one thing being in the playoffs, and that matters more than anything else. But to certain people in Columbus, this matters more than anything else. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was adding on to what you're saying. So when you give somebody $8.5 million, you kind of schedule some softer games during the beginning of the season to be ranked, right? And you're preparing for your head coach to have a playoff run and to beat your rivalry. And when you drop those last two after you've been paid $8 million, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because we can go get Joe Blow from whatever state to go win 10 games. So there's a playful rivalry part to it. But then it's like, man, you make $9 million, you got to get this done. You know what I'm saying? So that's the energy around Columbus right now, where you have, you like this town is ran by elite businessmen, right? Whose businesses are connected to that university, and with the university having a certain level of prestige. And if you are dimming the light from us being a championship program, bro, it's time to go. Let's go ahead and bring the next person in.
Yeah,
And then
so let me get
sorry,
this
Mace.
right, Cam. So he's basically saying, yeah, I had a bunch of easy games. You scheduled a bunch of easy games so you can be close to Georgia. Is that what I heard? Because that's what I heard.
That's any big program's gonna have some easy games. But listen, just so you get it, just in case you don't get it, or people around the country don't get it. Ohio's a major city, and Columbus is a major city in Ohio. And listen, this is the only major city that doesn't have a professional team. Cleveland has a professional team. Cincinnati has a professional team. There will be no professional team in Columbus because this is how big Ohio State business is in Columbus. Somebody try to come to Columbus with a professional team, you may not see them again. They're getting knocked off. Don't ever try to bring a professional team to Columbus because Ohio State is big business. And this is why these games are so important. It's a 102-seat stadium. It's been sold out for years, back to back years, because this is our professional team. So that's why Mo is saying this game is very important. Now, you could try and brush us off with the easy games and everything, Murder. We're about to get into your team next. Now, also today, we have Georgia playing Georgia Tech. What are you guys' opinion on this game coming up today as well?
Yeah, go ahead, Mo. Roll out the red carpet for the dog.
Hey, listen to me. Hey, so we
let Cam, do you know what this game is called, Cam?
Actually, I don't, because it doesn't matter to me.
All right. I'm just making sure you don't know.
No, I don't know.
Leave it to the experts. Go ahead, Mo. I'll tell them later.
What's the game called? You brought it up. What's the game called?
It's the good old-fashioned hate game.
It's called the good old-fashioned hate game?
Yeah, with the good old boys.
Hey,
that sound mad. That sound mad racist, yo. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Mo.
That sound mad racist, but I digress. The good old boys. The good old boys is crazy. The lynching going on after the game is going on, man. I'm just joking on my family down there in Georgia. I'm just playing, man.
I think
I'm old and
good old-fashioned hate game.
Yeah. Anything to start with good old-fashioned scare me.
Listen, it's even funnier that it's coming from teams from Georgia. That's what make it feel crazy, man. And if you'd have been through Georgia, man, no offense to Georgia,
Black. I don't know what Duke be talking about the dirt roads. I'm scared of the dirt roads in Georgia.
Oh man.
Well, we expect Georgia to win, and I always say this: any of your top four teams are pressing to win because Georgia trying to go on this three-peat, and they definitely have to play well leading into Alabama next week. So I expect them to get it done. They favor about 25.5. You know, it's embarrassing for any rivalry game to be that far with the spread to be that far apart. You know, that kind of lets you know.
How much is it again? Pause. How much is it again?
It's a 25.5 point spread.
Good old fashioned.
you basically saying that these dudes don't have a chance to win, man.
Yeah.
You know, they I don't know. It's rough, you know, when you have 25.5 point spread. But I don't know. I think that they're gonna go ahead and beat up on them and try to take all that momentum into Alabama next week, because please believe when I was doing the notes on all these games, Nick Saban believes that if he beats the Iron Bowl with Auburn, if they win that game and then they come back and beat Georgia, being that they lost to Texas, Nick Saban believes that they'll have a chance to get in the playoffs. That's what I'm telling you. When I went over all these notes, and you think Ohio State beats Michigan, Michigan gets out, right? Because they don't want Michigan in the top 4. And you have Alabama go beat Auburn, and then they come back and beat Georgia, Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. And I was talking to Nick about this before the show started. It is going to be a legitimate chance that they try to push for Alabama to get into the top 4. Just remember when you heard it first.
Yeah. I just think it's too many dogs, Mo. I don't think no team got as many dogs as we got. We got too many. Like when you talk about star players, right? Nobody got more star players than Georgia.
Give us the star player
with Cam, you know. Whether we talk,
is anybody in Georgia? And I'm asking. I'm not sure. This is purely a question. In the Heisman race?
No.
Okay.
But it should. If you win 3 championships back to back, it's racist. And there's a lot of racist things going on. They're being racist against my quarterback because he's from Jacksonville. And I have a problem with that, Cam. Because we talk about racism when it's black people, but not when it's white people. And right now, it might be a racist debate. If you got a guy that's about to win his 3rd championship, Cam, out of Jacksonville, not Ohio, Jacksonville, Cam. Cam, how do you feel about that? He grew up next to where I was born at, Cam.
I don't have a problem about anybody being from anywhere in the country or the world for that matter if they're good at what they do. My only problem is somebody being a fan of the team and don't know anything about the team.
Damn, that's what I came today to give you the stats. Cam.
I hope you did do some homework on this because it's been 10 and a half. It's been 12 weeks of this Georgia and I haven't heard one stat yet. So please enlighten us with some stats. I would be delighted to hear it. I would definitely be enlightened.
Cam, the guy got 3,000 plus yards, Cam. He got 20. What is
his name? You keep calling him the guy. Why don't you give him say his name so the audience will know?
It's Carson Beck, Cam. He's from Jackson.
Okay.
He's from
Jackson. You got it. Carson. Now we can put a name to Jacksonville. Okay. Carson Beck. Okay.
You want some more names?
I just want you to enlighten us on your team. That's it. I would like I would like to enlighten us.
It's Dejon, Jamon, Javon. All the names rhyme. Mondon, Munden. You know where you want to go.
What position? Tell us each position of the people that you're talking about, so we know what to look at.
Cam, you know I know you.
Mase, I'm looking. Mase, just so you know, I'm only gonna let you know.
Yeah,
I see the computer off your glasses, the reflection.
You should.
I see that you're reading, and I see the reflection
down here. The camera's up here.
Okay.
The notes is down here. The camera's up here.
I was just saying, I see the reflection off your glasses. That you're cheating on the test, bro. You're telling on yourself. I'm looking at right off the reflection of your glasses. But guys,
do you see my notes in my glasses?
I see something glaring. I know it's a screen.
That's the computer. Okay. That's the
computer. That's what I say.
Yeah.
The computer. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Do you even know who y'all major tight end is? Who's the tight end?
Yeah, Brock.
Brock what?
Huh?
Who?
Brock Bozen or something. I call him Brock. I knew offhand. Yeah. I knew offhand. Yeah.
Yeah, I give you that.
Let's go. It's a good old fashioned boys, you know.
What are you predicting to get today's score, B Mase?
Since we're predicted to win by about 25, I would say probably like 35-10, something around there.
35-10 is your final prediction for the score today in the good old-fashioned game?
Good old-fashioned game, yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that.
They can't let them get more points than that, right? I mean, you the expert, Mo. Does that sound about right?
Oh, I had them score more than that. I don't think that they're gonna I don't think Georgia Tech gonna do well. I don't think they're gonna get past the touchdown.
That's good. So what you got? 32-7?
No, I got somewhere. I got probably 42 to 49 points being put up. I think like when you head into this postseason, I just call it how it is. You have to be playing extremely well. Like when you get into November, there's a different level of intensity that comes out of coaches when they coach the players, and they'll tell you, man, if we go on the championship run, you can't be having all of those mistakes that you had during the front of the season. And this game, even though a rivalry game, Nick Saban is looking at Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart looking at Nick Saban. And the game film that you're putting on the film this week is what each team will see next week. So they're at practice talking about put your best foot forward. Don't overlook Georgia Tech, but make sure you prepare for those dudes who coming up next week who are going to be watching your performance, over these next 4 quarters.
What I'll say about everything that you guys just said, and it's not even really about the game. I appreciate both of you guys' insight on the game. It's more about Nick Saban still trying to finesse his way into the fucking playoffs as well. Nick, that nigga's tenacity as well, bro. You gotta give Nick Saban
sit down.
You gotta get because you know why? For him to even, because he's starting to mind fuck you now. He's starting to just from with how Mo just broke it down, he's already weeks out trying to mind fuck the NCAA or whoever makes the picks to go into the playoffs on why they should be one of the top 4 teams in the playoffs. What rank are they at right this particular moment?
8.
They're number 8. How many losses do they have this year?
They have one to Texas, and Texas is number 7.
Okay, got you. So right now, he's basically trying to jump 5 slots or 4 slots before these games are even played. If this team wins and this team loses, and if next week we beat this team and that team, I don't understand why we shouldn't be in the playoffs. My nigga, let them niggas make the selection without you throwing your 2 cents in it. I know you try. I know it hurts. That's the one thing you gotta it really hurts him.
The portal is killing this nigga.
I know. Like this is a nigga who probably talking about Nick Saban, who probably when he has to watch the college playoffs, can't watch the college playoffs because it eats him up that bad. To the point to right now, weeks out, he's trying to figure out a way to get Alabama in the system. I can't even hate on them for doing that. Not at all. Now, look, let's move on. I'm sorry, Mo. Let's think.
No, we're going to end up talking about it, but as we talk, keep him in mind as we start to talk about these other rivalries, and I'll just make the connection of if this team loses, then he definitely going to have a case.
I'm mad he going to have a case. I'm going to be totally honest with you, man. Now, let's get ready to move on to Iron Bowl. Now, listen, I haven't watched the Iron Bowl. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Since my man Cam Newton was playing, it's been a long time since I watched the Iron Bowl. Bama versus Auburn. Mo, what we doing with this game? How's it look?
Yes, it's the same thing. Auburn been struggling. They just lost the game last week or the week before last. I forget, to New Mexico State or something like that, a game that they wasn't supposed to drop. And I keep on saying it that you have Alabama playing well, Alabama in the hunt for the playoffs. Hugh Freeze, I think it's Hugh Freeze, whatever the coach's name is down there. These guys not being able to put all the pieces together and just come back to what they once were at Auburn since the Cam Newton days and Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown and all those guys who made the program great. I just have Alabama whooping up on them. They're going to go down there to their home field. They're going to beat them, and they'll be preparing for next week. But this game is what I'm talking about. This game being the momentum game to go play Georgia, and then Georgia's momentum game with their Georgia Tech game. Both of these games are super important into the development of what's going to happen in college football, or the college football playoffs. My fault.
Isn't Cadillac the coach down there right now, or did they replace?
He was the interim head coach at the beginning of the season, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he coached for maybe a game or two for whatever reason. I forget the reason that he was being out. But then I think he's the running back coach. But, me and Cadillac came out around the same time, him, Ronnie Brown, and a bunch of those guys. We were all together when we got drafted.
Yeah, once they who was that? Was that the what team was that had the replacement quarterback? Was that Auburn?
When?
Remember, one of their quarterbacks got injured, right? That was Auburn.
It could have been. I didn't keep up a lot. I remember keeping up with Auburn when he was the coach, only because that. But their program been down. Their program been down, and the only time that they really had mentioned was around the head coach and all those sexual scandals that he had prior to coming to Auburn. Like, that was the only attention that program has had really in years. And then Cadillac being the first black head coach down there, that was like a story. And then after that, they kind of faded into black. Like, it's kind of like. No offense to him, but like, how you hear about a Missouri, you may hear about a Iowa, or like these indiscriminate programs that kind of get lost in the shuffle. Like, that's how Auburn's been for a long time. Hence the reason Cam just said it, right? He hadn't paid attention to Auburn since Cam Newton was there. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
They try to bring Hugh. I think it's Hugh Freeze. If my memory's jogging me correct, I think it's Hugh Freeze was the coach, but he was like at the University of Liberty. He got caught in like some sex scandal that he was like doing also at the University of or at Ole Miss. And I don't know. I will say this: Hugh Freeze has actually beat Nick Saban in 15 and 16. He beat him, so that may give like Auburn some confidence, and he may feel that he has the ability to beat him, but he beat him with a different set of players. But Auburn doesn't have the same talent. You know what I'm saying? And they're just a rebuilding program in a different phase.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that quarterback because I thought he had got hurt, but I think they replaced their quarterback. That's what it was.
Hey, look, you got your computer open, pull up your notes, right?
I should, but it's the way my computer is just all you can see is y'all. If I pull up notes, I wouldn't be able to see y'all. But yeah,
you got your tablet there and everything else, Murder. Your phone, your tablet. You got your phone, your tablet, your computer. The other phone, you got a system over there. I know what's going on. He's trying to come ready. You gotta. I know. First of all, I knew when you called me at 8:30, I knew y'all said this nigga's too ready.
Yeah,
I said this nigga's early.
Yeah.
Look, what I'll say about this before we move on real quick is that, like I said, I really haven't kept up with the Iron Bowl in years. I appreciate you guys knowing a little bit about, well, Mo definitely knows going, Mase knowing what he knows as well, too. I would say this for me. Now that I know Saban's playing, I hope y'all lose every game coming up. Because you got a wild-ass plan, bro. This plan for you to try to get to the playoffs. I will be rooting against you every single game because I wouldn't even care if y'all won the rest of the game, but you trying to finesse and motherfuck niggas into the playoffs is wild. I hope Auburn wins. It doesn't look like they will because Nick Saban got this shit laid out. But I will be rooting against the Tides.
Yo, Nick Saban wanted to win so bad, he replaced his quarterback week 3. He didn't even let them get to week 4. But the quarterback he replaced him with have been playing good. He's up to 24 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Ain't he back to the original quarterback that he started with? Who's quarterbacking? I thought the original quarterback is back because he went through 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think it's Milroe or something like that. Milroe.
Yep. All right, cool, man. Moving on. We have Washington versus Washington State, another Heisman candidate playing in this game. What do you think about that, Mo?
Yeah, they're 11-0, and they rolling into the postseason. And this does a few things. It was really 3 things when I was looking at the notes of this game. The biggest and most obvious thing is that they're trying to take Penix and make him the front runner for the Heisman. I believe it's his to win at this point, based on the story that he has, the victory against the kid in Bo Nix from Oregon, and just everything that they have going on. Like, people look at him as a good kid who they want him to have success. The second thing is that Washington hasn't had any great recruits. And if you want to kind of harness all of those kids on the West Coast, and to say, hey man, come to a championship program. This is the platform and the place to do it. That contributes to them wanting to dominate this and make sure that they solidify themselves in the college football playoffs. And the third thing I was about to say, I kind of said two things at one time. It just helps with recruiting, man. Nobody thinks, and this is no offense to the western part or northwestern part of America, but a lot of people don't think of going there when it's time to play football. Most people want to come to the Big Ten. They want to come to the SEC, and you'll have like USC, who would be deemed as like a
Oregon.
Yeah, but there's been no dominant teams from the Pac-12 in general where people wanted to go to. So, them having success is super important. So I expect these dudes to go out here and they've been on the road. It's hard to stop. Like when I seen what he had done to Oregon, and I was like I seen with my own two eyes, I said, man, this dude he's a player. And I think that, they'll just continue to roll over Washington State. They're not really good anyway.
Yeah, I think all of this is good for fourth place. Maybe you guys will get to play them. Maybe Oregon. Washington will get to play you guys after y'all for third place. It'll be a good game.
First of all, Mase, if y'all are in first place, and Washington's in fourth place, that's who you guys would be playing if y'all stayed in first place.
I know. I'm saying for third place, how first play 4 and 2 play 3, and then sometimes they get to play again for third place.
You talking about after the loss? Okay, I get what you said. You're so funny.
My mind works fast. You talking
about niggas playing for the bronze medal.
The dogs is coming home. You already know that, Mo. You can feel it. You trying to stay Ohio State, but I think you already know as a foregone conclusion. Washington, this will be over with. This will be over with. Enjoy it while they can. Pause.
All right, look, man, we're gonna get ready to move on. Mase, I'm gonna start with you with this next one because I don't know if you're from San Diego, if you're from Phoenix, if you're from Harlem, if you're from Georgia, but the one thing that you constantly represent, and it's on your birth certificate because we talked about Social Security numbers. We got Florida versus Florida State.
Yeah.
Mase, let's start with you with this. Being that it's an all Florida game, Mr. Jacksonville.
Oh man, let me see. I can't go against the Gators, even though I know Florida State is better. It's just a rule. Like I told Stat when we was leaving the studio yesterday, I said, "How are you born in Jacksonville and you went to U of M? Like it's teams you can't go for. Like if you're from Jacksonville, so I can't even talk about Florida State. Even though they're gonna lose to them, I can't even say their name. But I gotta stay with the Gators. I gotta let Mo talk about this first.
Real quick, but I'll let Mo wrap it up. Just a little bit of knowledge that I have is that isn't Florida State's quarterback out? Well, he's out, so he's injured. I don't know who their backup quarterback is, but that kid was doing numbers, and I don't think they're going to win without him. He just stated, I guess he's going to go move on to the NFL because he stated that his collegiate career is over. So I guess he's moving on. But he was a big deal, and he's a big part of what they had going on. Like I said, I don't really know. I wasn't keeping up with them, but I don't see them winning without this guy. Mo, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so two things. So one, I'll be fact checking, right? And Mase at the beginning of the season, when we asked about their favorite players, we know he captained because he said Peter Ward, and Peter Ward is from Florida State.
Florida State, yeah. That was because I was just trying to give you a bunch of people from Florida. I had to give my
nigga
list.
Caught you, bro. He caught you, my nigga. Nigga keeping the notes on you, bro. That's what you do, Mo, with niggas like this.
No, listen, you see the blue in my glasses?
That's what
You
you
see
do
the
with
blue
niggas
in my
like that.
glasses,
You
Mo?
caught him out there.
Mo,
Good.
do you see
You
the
caught
blue in
that
my
nigga out there,
glasses?
man.
Hey,
Caught
Killer,
him, man.
do you see the gate of blue in my
Here we
glasses?
go.
Hey,
Go
hey,
DJ.
DJ Bessa.
That's my DJ. Go DJ. That's my DJ. Spin master. That nigga, my man RD. Revolving door. He won't stop spinning.
No, the only reason why I brought Florida State up was because I try to give you a whole list of people from the state of Florida. It wasn't.
But I thought you couldn't say their name.
You just said you couldn't even say it.
Not in the realm of against Florida. Not against Florida. You know, it would be it would be like you saying Cleveland State against Ohio State. You just wouldn't do that. You know.
I don't know what you mean. Look, well, hold up.
Sure.
I will say this. So I found out that Florida's quarterback is injured too.
Yeah.
So you have Florida State's quarterback is injured, Florida quarterback is injured, and at that point, so I was with you, Cam, on the first one. I didn't know. I knew Jordan Travis I got injured last week, and then he had declared to say, "Hey man, my collegiate career is over. I'm going to the NFL." And I was like, man, there's no way that they can get it done. So at this point, you playing with two backup quarterbacks in a rivalry game. So if I had to pick and I had to choose the team who has the more, and also Florida hasn't won a game since I think they're on a 4-game losing streak. And I think that they said they haven't won since like October 15th or something like that. And I'm almost positive I'm right. I read that right when I was doing my research. But it's I would take the team who has the other surrounding support, like a good defense and guys who just used to winning. That's why I would pick Florida State this week.
Florida State, yeah.
Yeah, so you playing with two young quarterbacks. And I thought it was going to go
I didn't know that Florida State, that Florida was playing with a backup quarterback as well.
Yeah, I think both of them, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody who will probably correct me in the comments, but I think both of their quarterbacks are out, and they both playing with backup quarterbacks. But I would still go with Florida State just because as a team they've been playing better. And I don't know. I mean, y'all play sports your whole life too. You just know when you got dudes who lose a whole lot, they just got like a loser spirit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to come to practice. They don't want to perform. They don't want to go above and beyond. And now Florida State, I think they sitting at number 5. I think in the poll, they still believe that they can get into the playoffs if they win out. So that's why I take Florida State over Florida.
Got you. Moving on, we got Oregon versus Oregon State. What do you think? Look at this nigga. This nigga here. This nigga here tap dancing. Tap dancing. You want to just be tap dancing. Sammy Davis Jr. right here. Savion Glover, man. I don't know. I've never seen a nigga live in every state, every part of the country. Another Heisman candidate, Mo. What are we looking at for this game?
Oh, Bo Nix, man. It's again, I looked at this one too, and I looked at they're going to play well, but they don't have a chance to make it to the playoffs. They don't have a chance to make it to the playoffs, but they do have a chance for Bo Nix to go to the Heisman finalist race to New York. But I'll also say this. I looked up the incentives on the coach's contract, right? And after every game past game 7, he gets $200,000 in bonuses per game. So he done probably racked up another 6, 7,
Wait, hold on. So explain that one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked up his contract, and I was looking at who's going to I look up like a team standing, and I looked up their head coach's contract, right? And so understanding their contract, you would understand like how each game was going to get played. If it's important, do they feel they can win? How much money they make going towards bowl games, and so on and so forth, right? And so after every game, after game 7, like game 7, he get $150,000 bonus, and then every game after that, he makes another $200,000. He's playing if they win, yes. So they got 10 wins right now. So he's not playing for the national championship. He's not playing for the playoffs. He's playing to stack up his bread, and he also has incentives if he goes to the bowl game, to the Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl is between Pac-12 and Big Ten out in California. So he gets another $500,000 for stuff like that. So you want your team playing well if you know you can go pick up another million. You know what I'm saying? And so he's probably collected on probably 3/4 of that. And I know if he gets to the conference championship or if they get to the bowl game and win that, he'll get another half a ticket. So I don't see those guys slowing down. But a great day with them. They'll have Bo Nix in New York, going to the Heisman race or the Heisman finalist. He won't win. And then you'll also have him basically making another $1 million. And I'm pretty sure his assistant coaches got the same thing in their contracts.
Well, I appreciate everything you said, Mo and Keller, but I'm going to say this. I think they will be absolutely racist if they don't give Bo Nix the Heisman.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's reverse racism if Bo Nix does not win the Heisman. I'm going on the record. There's nobody played that much better than him this whole year. I mean, he got 35 and 39 yards. That's 3,539 yards. He got 35 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions. If he doesn't win the Heisman, Cam, this is racism.
So let me ask you this.
On the soapbox for Bo Nix. Paul.
But so how could you have him beat Michael Penix, and when they play against each other, Michael Penix outperformed him?
I'm going with the stats. What is Mike? Pull up his stats right now.
Hey, no, you pull it up because you got the computer.
You pull it up because Cam think I'm on the computer. I'm not using my computer. You pull it up because I don't need the computer.
The thing about it is, Mase.
Can we just go with the stats, Cam?
It's not a problem going with the stats, but if you have a duel and I shoot better than you at the duel, and I'm still undefeated, and you have a loss.
Sometimes you have a better team, but it doesn't mean you're the better player. The Heisman is about the better player. It's not about.
It's absolutely correct, but I outplayed you. If I outplayed you,
one game.
Yeah, that means it ain't a bad team.
Game, or is it, Mo? You talking to a Heisman right here? Is it about one game, Mo, or not?
The whole thing about it is that Oregon has a good team too. Don't act like nobody was thinking about Washington like that. Everybody kind of was on Oregon, including you, including when they beat my niggas down there in Colorado. Everything was, or I think he came in with the hat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he came in with an Oregon hat, and then Washington wasn't even till a few games later. Now you look. What I will say is this: I'm proud of you for sticking with something, with anything at this point. Now, real quick before we go to break, we got Coach Prime's last game. We want him to go out with a win against Utah. What are you thinking about this game, Mo?
Yeah, it looks slim, but I hope. Well, wishful thinking. I wish that they can perform. And I want to see my man happy or going on a happy note, right? Because, these last few weeks when you've seen the interviews, he's been disappointed in some of his kids kind of like giving up at the end of the season. But that's just that's a byproduct of, just a certain mentality within your camp. You can't come and resurrect everybody and turn everything around in one day. And I don't like to see that. Like I seen a young kid talking about, we're losing because we're selfish. And I haven't heard Deion talking about, just kids giving up. So I want these dudes to perform a little bit better heading into the postseason. I also think this, I don't know if y'all seen this, there was a couple kids who had decommitted, and he was talking about, that. But kids decommitting, I know that comes from other coaches spoiling or talking bad about Deion and saying, hey, man, look, they were great at the beginning of the season, but you see, as things fizzled out, it's not that anymore. And you can plant like doubt inside of a kid's head. So having them go out on top, having them beat a team that they shouldn't be beating at this point of the season, I want to see that selfishly, so he can have a great recruiting class. So then, next year, we can celebrate him, and he just does better than this year.
Yeah, you're definitely right. We want to see Prime win. This Utah defense is just too tough, though. With the I mean, I'm just giving an honest observation. Their defense is tough. Their quarterback is not all that, but their defense, if they don't have nothing else, they have defense.
What makes their defense great?
just their pass rushing and everything else, like I think looking at me. I did my homework. Niggas think I ain't prepared.
Yo,
From now on,
first of all,
yo, Killer,
general,
from now on, I'm taking football way too serious. Way too serious. I'm just letting you know, I'm taking it way too serious.
Mase, the season is almost over. Now you want to get serious. Secondly, when he asked you a question, you know how general your answer sounded? Yo, the pass rushing and everything else is crazy.
Okay, well, let me be clear.
Pass rushing is
the pass rushing. And the reason why that's important, Cam, just so you understand how football works, is that Shador has been sacked the most out of all quarterbacks, it seems like. So if you got a team that's great at what their Achilles heels is that right, Mo? Is that right?
Hey,
right?
Before we get fined, you gotta like sources, because you taking somebody's shit.
Okay. Mo, is that correct though, Mo? Is it correct? Yeah, Shador has been sacked way too much. Pause. And Cam has said on oftentimes that it's the O-line, right? So if they got a weak O-line and this team is great at pass rushing, isn't that a recipe for disaster right there?
How great are they, Mace? Where are they ranked at pass rushing? Because it seems like they have a problem with pass rushing every week. So I'm trying to figure out where Utah's ranked at with their pass rushing.
Cam, probably like 10th.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Let me pull it up. I got it written down. So
okay, I just was asking where their pass rushing.
The team is top 10 in their success rate in sacks this year. And they're 17.
And
they're 10.
They're 17. They're 17 for the 10th, mate. You have to be more than just throwing numbers around. You just need to know more specifically where they at.
Hey, I'm telling you, look.
Their success rate, they're 10. In sacks, they're 17. Okay.
So who's the sources?
Correct. Huh? I can't give up on my sources. I do a lot of studying.
Look, I'm only telling you that because all online right now they got people saying people stealing people's lyrics and they don't quote their sources.
Ooh.
So I don't want us to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Then you're right. I'm gonna start quoting my sources. So everybody that I've been studying different things, I'll give you your sources moving forward. Thank you so much for that.
So what that nigga Maurice just tried to say in a polite way, you Milli Vanilli, nigga.
But guess what?
That's what he tried to say in a nice way.
But if you're getting stats, you got to get them from somewhere. I can't make the stats up in my mind. If I'm going to want to be accurate, I got to do homework, right? That's what you do when you.
You was reading that directly off the screen.
No. That was something that I wrote down in my.
No. It's his favorite. No. That's his favorite.
Let's get back to you guys being racist about Bo Nix and the Heisman. That's what I want to stay on. Cameron, are you racist against Bo Nix? Or do you want him not to get it because he's white? How about you?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. And actually, we're going to get to that when we come back. We're going to get ready to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Heisman race. It has NIL messed up Clemson and Bama moving forward. We'll be right back.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. I'm stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about she wanna be free.
So here we go with our Underdog Fantasy picks for tonight. Jacksonville, Mesa, here we go. Matter of fact, it plays Houston, CJ, yeah. They got Trevor Lawrence at 1.5 passing touchdowns. Higher or lower?
higher. Come on, it's Jacksonville. He gotta get 2 touchdowns. He playing against that boy from Ohio. He better have 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna go higher as well for that.
Yeah, or he won't win.
Yeah, cool. Also, they have Calvin Ridley at 4.5 receptions. Are you going higher or lower for that?
Higher.
I'm going to go lower. Then we have CJ Stroud, 279.5 passing yards. Are you going higher?
He's on a roll. Higher.
You better, yeah. You know what time it is, nigga. Higher, nigga. Ohio State, yeah, I'm going higher as well. All right, cool. Make sure you support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. Now let's get back into the show. Welcome back, everybody. Now we know that Dabo with Clemson, Nick Saban with Bama has been real strong over the years. Do you think that the NIL is hurting these two teams?
Without a doubt, there is so much evidence pointing to it that it's only going to get worse for schools and dealing with kids for NIL purposes. And the biggest indicator that people may not see, they keep this stuff quiet on purpose because the more you make the public aware, the more you empower the kid. And so kids are now demanding to even visit schools that they have to get paid just to step on their campus. To where you could have visited 4 or 5 schools before in the past, and you would have came for free, and there was nothing more to it. But now kids are understanding the revenue that's being generated around them, and it's basically being a standard to pay like your top 300 players to come on campus and basically try to recruit them. And now that they have some form of representation, it's no longer the kid advocating for it. It's the agent who knows that he gets his cut out of the deal, who's advocating for these kids to get paid. And I don't see how that gets better anytime soon. As you have a lot of these kids who come from inner cities, man, and if I can have a school pay me $5, $6, $7 grand, that's going to let a school know what time it is just to visit their campus. And then as you start to get into these sponsorships, you got to remember, these are the first years of NIL. So, you know, as business goes and as time moves on, things only seem to get better the more people who come through the system and people start to figure it out. But Clemson and Alabama, Nick Saban will be able to hold on longer because of his history and prestige, but Clemson doesn't have that same cachet. And Dabo Swinney has more articles about him saying how he feels about players. So I don't really see Clemson recovering unless they basically do what everybody else is doing and pay these guys.
Yeah. I think of Swinney and Saban like Gino and the late Pat, what was her name? Summit.
Yeah, Pat Summit, yeah.
When it comes to women's basketball, it's just like it's a new day. And when things change, it's obviously going to be new front runners. You know, it's not going to be the same. I think Saban will do well, but that reign that he had before, that is completely over because of the NIL and the portal, and they just don't have the control that they used to have. So the way they used to be able to take a kid to the side and make them comply with the system and all of those things that made his program so touted is just no longer going to be able to be upkept, to me.
You brought up a great point with that, and I totally whiffed that one. The portal. Now a kid doesn't have to sit around and wait on your nonsense. And so where you probably would have had him tucked away for some time, you'll have somebody else who has more money, who knows this kid is good, who will solicit that kid away from your school. So that's a great observation.
Yeah, so you can't even sit a kid on a bench like promising him that he's going to be this next year. None of that works. The money changes and it kind of takes some of the agency out too, because with NILs, kids are able to go after some of these deals by themselves and with sponsors and different things on the high school level. So when they come in, they already know the money they want to get. I remember LaMelo Ball was like this. He already knew the money he was going to get before he even started. So that's what I would say to that.
Great points from both of you guys. I hate to say I agree with Mase all the way through. You made some great points from both of you
The
guys.
expert, Killer. I'm an expert at football. Killer, I'm an expert. You're getting to know this more because
what I'm trying to tell you is,
I'm opening up my football knowledge.
Mase is me, Drum, Jack Harlow, and Lake Cheesy have group texts about your non-knowledge of football.
Well, I hope in the last 2 weeks you've seen that I actually do know what I'm talking about.
Make some great points today. I will give you that. And throughout the weeks, you've gotten much better. I will give you that. Okay. Moving on. Heisman predictions. We were just talking about that. We'll get back into it. Who are you two guys' Heisman predictions for this year?
I'll go first. I'm gonna take the kid from Washington. I think that he has done enough. I think his story makes sense. I think that people want him to the story that goes into being a Heisman winner. I think that it's the kid from Washington, Michael Penix.
Why not Ohio State? You got on all that Ohio. What happened?
It's wishful. So I got to have credibility every time I'm on the platform. So you have to call it how it is. So me trolling on the internet and me being real to the fans and to the public, that's the only way they're gonna say that my man has integrity and no bias. So
okay, so can you pull up his stats? Since you're saying I don't want to say his name. Penix.
Mark. Yeah, Penix. So he has about I want to say about 35 or 3,600 yards passing too. So he's had a stellar performance this year, and they're undefeated.
Maybe I should pull it up because you guys don't seem to know. Cam, do you know? Because when I say what I'm saying, I need you to know I'm saying this for a reason. I'm not just pulling this out of the sky. Sometimes I laugh so they think I don't know what I'm saying, but actually I do know what I'm talking about. So
say what you're talking about. You're doing a lot of talking about what you're talking about, and not doing the actual talking. Yes, just tell us what you know.
So yeah.
Look, you having trouble pulling it up.
No. You're talking about a player, right? That got 3,600 yards, right? He got 30 touchdowns, but he got 7 interceptions. How is that much difference from a person who got 3,539 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions? To me, that sounds comparable, even though people are trying to put color on it.
Undefeated.
Take the color off it.
So
let's take the color off it. Killer.
Here we go.
Take the color off it.
I think what happens is this makes the number. It is 5 more interceptions and the receiving yard, and the passing yards are not that far off. But you can't discredit the head-to-head competition as well. You can't discredit when they played against each other who won that game.
I think you're being racist. I think you're being racist.
I'm not being racist. I think Bo Nix is good. To be honest with you, my pick is different from both you guys' picks. So I was just letting you go. You threw me in it, so I was just giving you a reason why Mose may have thought that. Okay. But go ahead. You can still fight for it.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Who you got?
I'm staying. I'm a homer. We going with Harrison Jr., baby.
Is he being integral? Is he being integral, Mo?
No, what I'm saying, I bet you get invited to New York, nigga.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is this. And most of the time they want to give it to these quarterbacks. The reason I'm going for a receiver is because it hasn't been done in a while. You talk about racist. I don't know what you call this. I don't know what you call it because it isn't racism. It's called favoring the quarterback all the time. Let's get it to somebody who's not a quarterback for one time, who's busting ass. And I'm not just saying this because, I am saying it because he's from Ohio State. I'm not going to lie. But he's killing out there. He's definitely killing. I don't have.
You're sounding like OJ, Killer. He say somebody else need to be rewarded other than the quarterback. OJ is
than the running back. No, what I'm saying is this. It's the same thing with the MVP. A lot of time in the NFL, we always look at the quarterback. And it's other positions to help the quarterback. Look, at the end of the day, as good as Tom Brady is, Aaron Rodgers is, Penix is, Bo Nix is, you got to have somebody catch the ball. So if these people don't catch the ball, you're not going to have all these yards to rack up. So these people need to also be rewarded. So I'm going with Harrison Jr. That's my pick.
That's a great point. I hate to agree with him, but that's a great point.
When it comes to football, we not friends, man.
Yo, but
listen,
I'm
really sorry,
for your choices, but I would just add Bo Nix to that equation. You know, he did.
I think everybody that we're named is going to New York. So we'll see what actually happens, and then these last few games matter as well. We'll see what happens in the last few games. Now, before we get out of here, Mase, we got UConn head coach Jim Mora demanding that he get some NIL help if he expects the team to win. If the fans expect the team to win, he's demanding help. I don't really understand. Demanding. In other words, yo, Chevrolet, get your ass in here.
Yeah.
Pepsi, Kellogg's, Starbucks, we demanding help. What do you guys think of his comments?
Let me go pause.
Go ahead.
That nigga said, he said, we 2-9. Check this out. I don't want nobody talking to me about no Kentucky, no LSU, no none of this. He said, y'all make sure we get some NIL deals. I think he was making his point very clear so you could just get off pause his back about everything. He's saying, look at here. Everybody else is getting more money to work with. So they're obviously getting better players. So don't even come talk to me about no 2-9. He's saving his job as well as he letting them know we need more cash. We got to get the cash. We got to get the dough.
Well, look, so it go like 3 or 4-fold with me, right? So 100%, you know, this my dude. Like, I got him on text because, I'll be going up to UConn. So I already know what type of time he on. He ain't playing. He an old school NFL coach. It lets you know how important NIL is to collegiate sports. That's like
2-9 though, Mo. 2-9.
Okay, how many you only identify UConn as a basketball school. You don't think of football when you think of UConn. So there's no real players who are going to come up here unless you paying these young dudes to go up here, right? I don't know if you've ever been to their campus. When you get out the airport, you're still driving 35 minutes and you going through woods and back roads, and you land in a place that really isn't like inviting to like young dudes when they think about college, right? And so he's letting these dudes know, y'all got all these resources around girls basketball, y'all got resources around boys basketball. They just won a championship, and I'm right across the hall. We need that same resources so we can be a championship program too. And I just know what he was saying, and they had all the support in the world. Like, you go to their basketball facilities, anything you can name, you know what I'm saying? They have it, and they have the people supporting it. But he just was like, yo, if you expect me to win and y'all ain't gonna beat me up in the media anymore, you're gonna have to give me some bread so I can get me some Raheems out of Georgia. So, you know what I'm saying? Some little dudes out of South Florida up here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense. But and the argument to that is going to be UConn girls basketball was winning without the cash at first.
Yeah, but they won from prestige and coaches and history and tradition, right? Mm-hmm. The men's basketball program got built through tradition, but with football being a different animal, he's saying that you don't have to have that tradition. You can go get a good kid just with the right money, and if you go get a good kid, they can go take a 2-game team to a 7-game team. Like, okay, I'll give you a prime example. I won't be long-winded. So Kentucky never plans to win the SEC, right? But Kentucky, being that it's in Lexington, if they go from 4 games to 9, 10 games, that's like great for them. They'll get all the fans in. They'll be like the premier program here. That's cool. He just saying like, hey man, take me out of the 2-game space. Let me go get like to like an 8-game, 9-game winner. Like, we'll never win nothing special, but that's good for us. He just wants to exist in that space, and you can't do it with dudes who, they come to campus and they're like, man, I'm happy to be here. You need superstars, bro. They say you don't win with X's and O's, you win with Jimmys and Joes. and he needs some Jimmys and Joes up on campus.
What's Jimmy?
Well, I'll say,
No, he like you can have the greatest coaches in the world, but you still need performers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say.
what I was going to say is you kind of already said it, Mo, is that Connecticut is not really, and no disrespect, I love going to perform in Connecticut. I have great shows up there every time they book me in Connecticut. It's lit. But as a football player, Connecticut is not really that inviting. There's no professional team in Connecticut. It's very cold. It snows. It's like, why would I want to go to Connecticut if I'm not getting paid?
Yeah.
So if I'm not getting paid, there's no reason. So if I could go to Texas where it's hot, a lot of nice girls, not saying Connecticut doesn't have nice women or whatever you're into. I think it's more outside. You know, listen, we had Cam Michael. I don't want to pronounce his last name wrong. Announced that he was going to Colorado on our show on Thanksgiving Day before yesterday, and we asked him what was part of his reason for going there. And before he said Dion, before he said the money, before he said any of that, he said the mountains,
the
scenery. What I looked at, it was beautiful. When I looked around, it just felt like home. And a lot of players are going to take that into consideration if you're not getting paid a lot of money. They want to be somewhere where they feel like they're at home or comfortable and look at some beautiful things or seeing things that they haven't seen before. So I'm not mad at Jim Mora. And I just think if you have an opportunity as a football player to go somewhere else and you're not going to make a lot of money, they probably will. Just my opinion.
Yeah. And just for the listeners, I think Connecticut got a girls basketball team, just so you remember that.
What are you talking about?
Professional.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. No disrespect to the WNBA. You're absolutely right. My apologies. Because they would definitely... No, they'll definitely get on my ass. Thank you, Mase. Thank you. Thank you. You're absolutely right. They definitely do have a WNBA team. So I apologize. I'm totally sorry about that, Connecticut. Mase is 100% right.
Yeah.
Look, C, Mase, I want to tell y'all both thank you for joining. Well, thank you, Mo, for joining me and Mase on It Is What It Is for College Game Day. I'm about to go pregame. What I'll say is this, Michigan, you know who's coming tonight, my man Mo. Yeah, Mo's in the surgery room, and I'm coming to deliver the bodies tonight. Join us next episode of It Is What It Is, baby. Love.
Two big necks, like when they doing them 2 for $5.